All right, Harrison, so for the second variation that we're going to do of change direction work with you right now is going to be basically 3 exercises that we'll roll through. It's going to be 20 seconds of work and 20 seconds of rest like we've been doing. We'll keep the same number of rounds per series, so you'll go through 6 rounds of 20 on, 20 off. Except this one's going to be a 3 exercise circuit, which means you'll only go through each exercise 2 times instead of just alternating between the 2 exercises I gave you with the previous one. So to review the exercises, the first one you're going to do is you're going to require some type of platform or like a small box that you can do this drill off of. So I'm using a DC block here. Chances are they probably have something like this out in the weight room. If not, you can grab like a weight plate, so like a barbell lifting plate. You can also do it off that if you want to. You can start with about 1.5 inch, 2 inch lift. You can go up and double that if you want to. It really just depends on you and what your comfort level is. The higher the box, probably the more challenging the exercise is going to be. So the first one's called straddle hops. So you put both your feet on the box and you'll get down into an athletic position. You want to imagine like you're in a house with a really short ceiling. So if you stand up at any time while you're doing this, you're going to hit your head on the ceiling. So you'll stay nice and low, and you're just going to flip your feet quickly off and on the box. Very important as you do this to let your whole foot hit the ground and then come back up. And you want your upper body to stay low, your whole body to stay low. And your upper body shouldn't really be contributing a lot to the movement. It should be a lot of lower body. So that's exercise 1. Okay, exercise 2 and 3 are both just going to require a really simple setup. You'll take 2 cones or 2 markers and just set them about 10 yards apart. Okay, so for the first one, what you'll do is you'll start on that very front cone and you're just going to do nice and easy shuffling backwards and flipping your hips. When you get back to that back cone, just easily jog back out. Go ahead and reset your feet and then open your hips back up. So we're just zigzagging back and forth while we're turning the hips and keeping the eyes straight ahead. You'll perform that one for 20 seconds, rest for 20. The last one is going to use that same setup, the 2 cones about 10 yards apart. I'm going to do it this way so you can see. You'll start on the back cone, you'll jog or accelerate to that first cone actually. So try and gain a little bit of speed, but again it needs to be about a 3/4 speed sprint maximum. And once you get to that very last cone, working from A to B, you're just going to push your foot in the ground and stop, and then you can backpedal back to the cone. Once you hit the back cone, sprint back out, foot in the ground, stop. You want to pause here for a brief second, let your chest come forward. You should feel a lot of weight on your front leg. Then you can just push out of that and reset. Okay? So it's hard to do in the small space, but if I'm sprinting into it, I'd sprint, and then put my foot in the ground, and then backpedal out. And the key with that one is going from that tall sprinting position and letting yourself sink down low over that front leg. Your t-shirt should be over your foot, but you want to try and really like stick that foot in the ground and pause in that position for a second and then come back out of it. The lower you can get into it, the easier it's going to be to control your body. You'll do that one for 20 seconds, rest for 20, then you would go back to the top, straddle hop, the retreating that we were doing earlier while we were flipping our hips, and then the acceleration to like a split stance decel. Those would be your 3 you'll alternate between. You'll pair that with some med ball work, and then come back and repeat another series of that.